If you're saying to us that Moscow is deliberately blurring what is happening, are you also, however, saying that this is nothing less than a Russian invasion?
This is 100% unprovoked, brutal Russian invasion and aggression into a sovereign country with their sole purpose. Yesterday, Russian officials were using this term with Western interlocutors that were trying to obtain ceasefire and calm them down. This is a process of annihilation of Georgia. These were exact words of Russian officials. What they are doing is not about conflict. This is about annihilation of a democracy in their borders. It's about controlling energy routes. It's about scaring not only Georgian people and terrorizing us and basically brutalizing us, but it's all scaring all the people around, that nobody ever would defy Russian rule. Nobody ever would defy this kind of brutality. Nobody would ever defy to try to build democracy and challenge Russian rule in this part of the world. That's exactly what's happening, and one should be blind to see different pretexts in that. You know, the people they are claiming to protect inside Georgia, these are our citizens. These are our kin. I feel very strongly about those people. You know, and we want to protect them in first place, and we try to protect them from violence, and especially for Russian tanks. You know, you cannot bring peace and prosperity to any country with Russian tanks and with KGB trained generals. This is no way.
Why would the Russians go for civilians, Mr. Saakashvili? And as much as you say the world has taken its eye off the ball, you say the world is watching the Olympics, it patently is not doing that, sir. What is going on in Georgia, what is going on in South Ossetia is the top item on all the main news channels.
And I really appreciate that. And I really don't want it to go away, because that's the only real weapon a small country like us has. Because, look, I mean, they're going for civilians because it's so easy, because it is a democracy. Even with presidential rule and with this the declaration of war, we didn't lead any press freedoms. People watch television. It's not like Russian propaganda where it's like classical war propaganda if you watch Russian channels. Here we have free society. And of course, if people panic, if people get terrorized, if people get killed out of blue, and you know, we don't have sophisticated air defenses. We can protect our troops. Our troops, when they were attacked, they shot down 11 Russian planes. But we don't have air defenses to protect wider civilian population. It's much more easy to target civilian population because they are not covered. And then it's much more easy to get through democracy, under the skin of democracy, through scared civilians. But you know what I can tell you? Despite all this terror, our people are holding very well because they know what's at stake here. That's their freedom, their future. In 1921, Russia came and occupied this country, Bolshevik Russia at that time, under the pretext of, again, protecting minorities. And then we were in communist mud for 70 years. We will never, though we don't want to go back under Russian rule, no matter what. We'll fight for our independence no matter what. And no matter who is in charge of Russia, Putin, Medvedev, with whom I try to have good relations. We are not crazy or suicidal in any way. We never wanted to provoke them. No matter what happens, we will never give our freedom. That's the essential message our people has been showing to the world, but you know, it has been very, very painful. I just went to the hospital. I saw with my own eyes these poor civilians killed and sheltered and butchered. Yesterday, I was watching, you know, I saw with my own eyes how a Russian plane descended very low, at very low speed, and hit people gathered in the marketplace in town of Gori. Did it have to do something? I saw with my own eyes that the pilot was seeing what he was hitting.
You have this declaration of war in place, Mr. President. Just to interrupt you one more time. You have this